smile. He's got tales that twist and turn, a world of wonders you'll soon learn. Big band swing with a gentle tone, in his company you're never alone. The horns will croon, the rhythm will sway, Mark's got stories to brighten your day. Under the velvet of the moonlit sky, a whisper of stars winks so sly. The night hums a tune, soft and low. Where dreams and desires.
Good morning, folks. Good morning. It's Labor Day. It's Labor Day. I don't know what that means because, other than there wasn't near as much traffic on the road coming into work this morning for me. But guys, welcome to the Phee Smee show with Manly Mark on this little special edition Labor Day episode. As you can see, it's just me and no Phee. I don't know. Maybe he was having trouble with the metal in his knee. I don't know. We'll see. But I sure am missing Phee. It's not the same with just me. But that's okay. Because my name doesn't start with the letter T. You know, I can't rhyme like old White Chocolate. Two lime rhyming, nickel and diamond, lime rhyming. He likes those limes. Phee loves those rhymes. But guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're guys tuning in, I know I was a little late, but you know, I got here and realized Phee was not here. So then I thought, well, I'm gonna definitely go live as I am right now. But man, I took a little time to find some material to show you guys and talk about. So I don't even know how long this episode's gonna last. I go into some of my midday madness just thinking, oh, this is going to be a short episode, 30 minutes max. And then it'll be like, whoa, it's 45 minutes and I hadn't even got through half my material. Whoa, can't be doing that. So I might talk for 5 minutes. I might talk for 55 minutes. But who knows? Guys, thanks for tuning in. If Phee is out there listening, I hope you're having a good time, my brother. My brother in Christ and my brother in this mission to expose the lies and evil that permeates our society. It permeates our society. And guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I was not present for the Phee Smee show with Manly Mark on Friday, or Midday Madness with Manly Mark on Friday. Problem I had to not make it was the brakes in my truck are completely shot to the point where it's starting to grind away pieces of my actual tire. I don't know what that means, but it means I probably shouldn't drive it again until I get it fixed. And so that, guys, that's why I was absent. I'm a terrible communicator, so I should have got on the telephone and said, "Hey guys, I'm not tuning in." But here I am today on the Labor Day special episode of the Phee Smee show with Manly Mark with just Manly Mark. So you know we're getting into all kinds of stuff today. Phee's not here to put a lid on me. I walked in. Well, I say that. I pulled up this morning and I thought, well, Phee's not here. What am I going to do? I guess I'm going to go home. But then I thought, no, I'll just crawl through the window. So I can reach you guys. But the window's always locked. I just figured out how to unlock it. But that's not the point. So you can't break in here because super tight security, 24/7 surveillance. We can see you. But, you know, if I got to crawl through a window or an air duct or whatever, I'll just do it. I mean, you know, it's almost like, I don't even care. It's like, inconveniences. It's like, tell me I got to crawl through this air duct just to go live. Okay. Or, I got to crawl through the window, prop up a log to stand on and not fall over, and then hope the window's unlocked, and then or unlock the window with a stick or this or that, and then slither on through. Guys, I'm going to do it. I know I look bougie in my nice t-shirt and my nice $4 China hat, my little old unbrushed or styled curly hair. But guys, I'm pretty good at adapting. You put me in a desert, I'm going to dig a hole. You put me in Antarctica, I'm building an igloo. You put me at Phee Smee's house with no Phee Smee, I'm crawling through a window. That's just me, man. That's just me. Oh, I got to. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know if you guys heard, but I got a text message from my wife. I thought for a second it was gonna be Phee telling me, "You idiot! What are you doing?" No, he's probably sitting there having a good time listening to me because you know what? You know what? I'll say this right here. My biggest supporter is Phee Smee. My biggest supporter is Phee Smee. He watches every episode. And he actually engages with the material that I present in a non-biased, I don't think anything's non-biased, but in a way that's, he actually listened to what I thought, listened to what I said, listened to what I'm talking about, and now we're engaging with it. That's all I'm trying to do is just engage folks with different thoughts. Engage folks. Well, I engage a lot of folks with different, like, for example, it's funny. I should have showed this clip, but there's some comedian, right-wing comedian named Samuel Hyde, and he just released an episode about flat Earth. And what's crazy is, in the first 5 minutes of his podcast, he makes the point to say, and I have noticed this for the last 7 or 8 years, like for real. People will hear conspiracy theories like, "Oh, all the birds are surveillance drones," and think, cool, okay, I can see that. It's funny. A lot of conspiracy theories are funny. But the point he made was, if you say the earth might be flat, people get mad. I have had several encounters with people, like friends of mine, that just in casual conversation, I might have mentioned, they said something about space, and I said, it might be real, might not be real. I don't know, hadn't seen it. And they literally got angry with me. What do you mean? And what do you mean space isn't real? Huh? What do you mean? What? You're telling me the whole thing that I base my entire existence and life on is a lie? Yes. 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 But again, the point is not whether or not the earth's flat. I don't know. I hadn't seen it. That's not the point. But the point is that people's reaction to you simply stating an idea that is counter to culture's narrative, people get angry. People get mad. It makes people uncomfortable. They don't want to think. They don't want to ponder. They don't want to stay awake all night going back and forth on whether or not everything you ever knew was a lie. But it is. It's just and it's easy to get lost in the fact that everything you know is a lie, but you have to ground yourself in some reality. Of course, for me, that one reality I ground myself. You hear me. You hear me talk. You hear all my misinformation I push. And it's not misinformation. It's true. When people ask me what I do for a job, I say, I peddle misinformation. Just to be silly. But it's all about just understanding what is it. Why do certain people care that you believe this or that about whatever topic? And I don't know what soapbox I've gotten on for the last 5 minutes, because flat Earth isn't a topic we're talking about today, but it just goes into, again, as I talk on a broader scale, they're lying to us, man, about everything. Which, let me just go get into the first little insert I have today. This was a post that Trump made on Truth Social. Truth Social. That's his version of Twitter, but then it was shared wildly on Twitter, now known as X. But just look at this. I needed to make it smaller. Hold on. Whoa. Yeah, I want Trump Q. Trump Q. Oh, no, that's as big as it is. This is what he posted. The world will soon understand. Nothing can stop what is coming. But if you notice what's in his hand, there's a Q and there's a cross. Or a plus. I mean, I'm assuming it's a cross, but for anyone who doesn't know, there has been a almost cult-like movement called the QAnon or Q movement. And so what, it's been going on since 2016, his first election. But their whole main slogan is, where we go one, we go all. WW1, WWA, or something silly like that. But it's so, I read some of the stuff they say, and it's like, it makes me feel like, honestly, me, of all people, it makes me feel embarrassed to be like, are these people really considering these things? I read several discussions on the comment section of that post about how, whoa, this is Trump saying he's an actor. So the character who is Trump doesn't actually exist. It's actually JFK, or JFK Jr., who died in the 90s in a plane crash while he's running against Hillary Clinton in a Senate race. You're running against Hillary Clinton in a Senate race, and then you die in a suspicious plane crash. JFK Jr. That's a whole episode in of itself, but they, for some reason, think that JFK Jr. is going to expose himself? Not expose himself, but like say, hey, I've been alive this whole time. I've been working behind the scenes. And I didn't get this pulled up because I just didn't think. But let me read you. I just typed into Grok, my AI friend. AI's the devil and a demon. Even though Grok says he's not a demon, he is. To give me a quick summary about AI, and rather than pull it up on the screen, I'm just going to read it. Because I think it's important, and I want to give you a quick overview of this Trump Q movement and how odd and weird it is that Trump himself is posting pictures of, well, as we see, the world will soon understand. Nothing can stop what is coming. What is coming? What's coming? Well, the Q people, for all this time, been saying, the Great Awakening. The storm is coming. Yeah, and they got these weird Q drops where this person Q says something obscure like, we're saving the clock strikes noon for last. And then you have people just go crazy about, ooh, this means that Trump is actually a puppet and the real person who's controlling Trump is actually the real savior of humanity. Just bullcrap, crazy stuff like that. Like, I'm the conspiracy guy, and this sounds insane to me. Manly Mark, of all people. This sounds insane. But let me just read a quick overview of this. Go back to Twitter. I'm always going to say Twitter because I've been on Twitter for years and years, and then it turned into X, and X just doesn't sound cool. X doesn't sound like, it's Twitter. It rolls off the tongue better. Hey, did you see this thing on Twitter? Yeah, man, did you? As opposed to, hey, did you see this thing on X? No, dude, I'm not getting on X. Shut up. What? I don't know. Elon Musk is better than Jack Dorsey, I guess, the former owner, but the whole X, everything. He named his son X. Kind of lame, kind of not cool to me, but if you get into the conspiracies that all has demonic roots, even the name Grok is, some people say it's like, oh, that was the name of a demon I'm just making this up, 12th century. Huh? But it's not the point. Let me get to Grok and okay. Let me read about QAnon. And again, I should have had this pulled up on the screen, so take my word for it. You can get on, just look up the QAnon movement. You're going to see a lot of negative pieces about it. But if you just get on the AI, it'll give you a brief overview, and here it is. QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory movement that emerged in October 2017 on the anonymous message board 4chan. It began with posts from an anonymous user, Q, claiming insider knowledge of a secret cabal of powerful elites, often tied to Democrats, Hollywood, and global institutions. I can't read today. Institutions. Allegedly involved in satanic rituals, child trafficking, and a plot to control the world. Q's cryptic posts, called Q drops, urged followers to decode hidden truths and support a supposed plan led by figures like Donald Trump to defeat this deep state. Now, I'll read more about it, but let me come back to you, even though you've seen me this whole time. Everything they're saying, everything's controlled by a satanic deep state organization who loves to feast upon the blood of children. All that's true. All that's happening right now. That is true. But the whole Q drop, the people who support Q have to decode the messages themselves. Hey, think if I'm the satanic Luciferian priest, politician, celebrity in charge, Jew, or whoever it is in charge, hey, let's sprinkle a little bit of truth with a bunch of work for these peon idiots who are then going to spend all their time decoding these veiled messages about puppets and masks and deep state actors, when it's like, you're wasting your time. It's a psyop. It's a psyop in the sense of what they're saying about the cabal, about the world elite is true, but they distract and muddle it down with all these. Did you not see Donald Trump's watch when he went on exactly at 12:13 noon? At exactly 12:13 noon, his watch said 6 o'clock. So that means on 6 o'clock, on September 28th, 2037, JFK is going to say, pull off a mask and say, no, I'm actually alive. That's literally where they take it. So they cartoonize and delegitimize. Call me Phee, I can't talk. Delegitimize the real things that are happening. Pizzagate. These world elites, these celebrities are trafficking boys and girls. That's real. They're involved in satanic rituals. That's real. There is a powerful cabal that controls our government and the world. That's all true. But if somebody who was actually inside was trying to tell you, I would almost bet that they'd come out in a 2-minute video and say, look, this name, devil worshippers, they're eating children. Here's the proof. I don't have much time. They're closing in on me. They're about to get me. I'm not suicidal. I'm not. They're about to get me. Whoa. But here's the proof. Here's the proof. And then, the next day or two would be like, old John Smith committed suicide. He had 5 bullets in the back of his head and his wallet, and TV was missing. But he committed suicide, so everything he said was a lie. Ha, ha, ha. If what Q was saying was real, he wouldn't spend the last 10 years dropping little breadcrumbs on these public forums. He would come out as him own self and say, look, I'm about to die. They're about to kill me because I'm exposing all this, but this is what's happening. And it is happening, but it's just interesting because I wonder, Trump getting all wrapped up in that. It's like, is Trump smart enough to see that a majority of his base are wrapped up in this cult-like conspiracy network, and so he's playing and pandering to them? Or is something actually, or are all the Q retards actually right? I don't know. Because it's like the way they put it upon you is like, this sounds so hokey pokey. Like, the whole body double, the whole mask, this and that. The first time you see it, you're like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Who would believe this? But then you see a video of the CIA mask lady in a meeting with, I can't remember if it's Bill Clinton or H.W. Bush, But literally, they go in and have a meeting. Here's the woman, the lady that's working with the CIA who does masks. And then literally in the middle of the meeting with the president, she pulls off the mask to reveal her true identity. But the point is, the whole time, she just looked like a regular person talking to the president. You couldn't tell it was a mask. But then when she pulled it off, you're like, what? Well, she fooled the president. She fooled me. And if that was in the early 90s, what stuff do they have now that might be a whole lot better? You see videos all the time of these masks just you could buy from the internet. And it's like, they look pretty convincing. And you see all these pictures about, hey, 10 years ago the earlobes were this. Now the earlobes are that. Or Jeffrey Epstein's body, they showed a picture of him wheeled out. It looked like this, but Jeffrey Epstein a month ago, his ears were completely detached from the earlobe and his nose, it's like, what's going on? So while I think a lot of that Q stuff is distraction, to give you a little bit of truth and a lot of breadcrumbs to keep you distracted, it's just like, again, is Trump pandering to it, or is Trump revealing that this whole time there have been people on the inside who are trying to expose this global satanic New World Order? I don't know, folks. I don't know, but I just saw that and I was like, come on. You tell me the Q folks are right? I doubt it, but that post from Trump was definitely interesting. Now I'm going to change lanes a little bit, and I saw this video of a guy named, a popular podcaster. He's the face of America First. Love him, hate him. He's banned on a lot of platforms, but his name is Nick Fuentes. And I just saw this video about him talking about the COVID vaccine. And essentially, if you got the COVID vaccine, not to offend, but this video is about you. And we'll talk more about it when it's over.
Off topic, but does anyone else think they're slightly superior to the vaxxed? Shot was literally created in 8 months. Only 2 categories: pussies who cave to pressure or idiots with zero instinct.
Facts.
I discount the opinion of any one vax, let alone their political takes.
Facts.
Warp Speed altered my view on Trump forever.
Facts. Absolutely. If someone is vaxxed, automatically second-class citizen. If you actually went to the doctor and rolled up your sleeve, dude, imagine... Dude, these faggots went to the doctor, they jumped up on the thing, and then they rolled up their sleeve and they said, okay, all right. The government's going to rape me. The government's going to inject me. And they did it 3 times. They did it 2 and then the booster. 2 and then maybe multiple boosters. And if you did that, you're either a sucker or a coward, but you are not a ride or die. That was not fuck it, we ball energy. That was Matrix, that was Blue Pill, that was cuck. And I'm using that in the negative sense here, not the positive sense like the album. That was some bitch shit. Real niggas make good times. Good times create bitch niggas. Bitch niggas create bad times. Bad times create real niggas. And that was one of those instances where the bitch were creating the bad times. Bitch created bad times because they just took it. Everybody was talking tough about, oh, if the government went tyrannical, I'd get my guns. You're going to roll up your sleeve, and you're going to make some excuse and say, well, I got to keep my job, guys. I got to go to school. Oh, I want to go out to a concert. Like, you have all these LARPers. Oh, if the government ever went tyrannical over my dead body, come and take it. Oh, I can't go to Pizza Hut. Oh, you won't let me go back to college. All right, don't just make it quick. Yeah, pathetic. Pathetic. Second class, we will only have, the only people that can run society are the unvaxxed. Now, that's not sufficient because there's a lot of crazy people that are not vaccinated also. But that is a prerequisite. You can't be vaxxed. I totally agree with you. It's a very good point. The vaxxed. If you fell for that, honestly, how? The government went on TV and said forcible vaccinations, and everyone was like, okay. Like, do you know how insane that is? I know that it was an extraordinary time. We were in the middle of a global pandemic. Like, I get all that. But the government came on TV. This is not a movie. The government came on TV and said, we are starting our forced vaccinations today. Everybody get vaccinated. Vaccine denialists must be hunted down. If you're a vax denier, the unvaxxed must be rounded up. And people are like, okay. Yeah, whatever. I'll just do it. Not a big deal. That's insane. Used to think that was like a conspiracy theory. People called Alex Jones crazy for 20 years because he talked about stuff like that. Then it happened. And people just went with it. Even conservatives. I had a lot of people on my show that would super chat and say, but Nick, is it okay for me to get the vax? Because, And I'd say, dude, this is the test. This is the test. This is like a world historical test. And it's like, do you have any skin in the game? Will you have any stake in this at all? Because that's what it was. It was like an antichrist system where it was like, okay, time to get your vax. Are you going to comply or not? And that was the test. And yes, you had to sacrifice something. Something was asked of you. Your job, your school, your this, your that. And that was the question. That was the test. And a lot of people that you thought were based were like, yeah, I gotta do it. And that's not cool.
Whoa. What were you willing to sacrifice? And like the point where he talks about it being he didn't say proto, but a proto-antichrist system. We're going to limit these functions in society for you if you don't go along with what we're saying to do. I mean, it's like, yeah, how many people just rolled up the sleeve? Yes, please, roll up this. Give it to me, please, give me that shot right here. Daddy government, please. I'm so scared of your Chinese virus that just popped up out of nowhere, and I need your rush to market, free from liability vaccine, please. Guys, I've said it 1,000 times on here, but it's just like, even in the middle of all that, it's just like, come on, who are you fooling? And if you're one of those who got fooled, I'm sorry, but are you going to stand up when it is something that might actually be the mark of the beast? Will you be so delusioned that you just don't realize? Maybe. But again, the COVID vaccine was a test upon you, the public, to see how willing or how easy it is to get you to do what somebody tells you to do based upon false data. I don't know. But I saw that video and I thought, whoa. That's very, and not only is it funny, but because it's like, yeah, I knew people who said, I got it because politics. Cuck, I got it because I got scared. Cuck, I got it because I wanted to keep my job, to go to college, to play the sports ball. Cuck. Oh, well, how's that heart inflammation treating you with your sports ball career? No. Come on, guys, come on. I'm not trying to be so aggressive or hateful or mean, but it's like, how many times do I got to tell you they're trying to kill you? They're trying to ruin your life. They're trying to control every aspect of your entire being before you realize it's true. The same people I knew who watched them steal the 2020 election, I ain't ever turning into this network again. They're lying and they're stealing the election. They stole it. Oh, a week later, we recommend everyone get the COVID vaccine. Guys, we got to do it. You live here, you got to do it. We got to get the vaccine. They're telling us on the news we got to get it. Oh, you mean the same news that literally last week you said is the devil? Oh, literally the news that you said last week stole the election, ruined the country? you're going to listen to them and get the vaccine, or you're going to succumb to the greater good lie. It's for the greater good. Hey, just take the mark, man. It's for the greater good. Your grandma, she can eat. Your mom, she's starving. Just take it. She can eat. She can have medicine. Your kids can go to school, man. Just, what are you doing? It doesn't matter, man. It's just a little thing on your skin. It doesn't matter. It's a little shot in your arm. It's going to protect you. It doesn't matter. What are you willing to sacrifice? If you weren't willing to sacrifice anything during the COVID epidemic, I would be willing to guarantee that you'll be so ignorant that you won't see the mark coming, or you'll be so jello-y, you'll be a trash bag full of jello that you'll just go with the current and take it. And the whole, God wouldn't let you take the mark of the beast if you're truly saved. Well, I got news for you. If you take the mark of the beast, you never were saved. Why does the Bible say that if it were so, even the elect would be deceived? So if it wasn't for the supernatural protection of the God of the universe upon the elect to not be deceived, it's going to be so convincing that even the elect would be deceived if it wasn't for God. Oh, but don't you know God's not going to let me take it? I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to study my Bible. I don't have to know what's going on around me or who's pulling the strings for my government in the world. I don't have to know any of that. God's not... I said the magical incantation when I was 8, when I was 10, when I was 12, 14, 16. I said the magic words when I was 30 years old, so I'm good. I don't have to worry about being deceived because I'm good. Don't you know? You can't deceive me. I'm elect. I said the words. Folks, you're priming yourself for deception. You're priming yourself for deception. I mean, you can look, I don't know if it's in Matthew or what, but Lord, we cast out demons in your name. We healed the sick. Lord, we did all these mighty works in your name. Who are you, man? I don't even know your name. I've never met you. I've never seen you. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. Pah! How many people are setting themselves up for that exact scenario because they say, I go 3 times a week. I take the Lord's Supper. I raise my kids taking them 3 times a week, don't you know? I follow the Lord's true commandments in His true church. But if you don't actually love the Lord, you do all these works. You keep His doctrines and His dogmas pure. But if that's where your faith lies and not in the man Christ Himself, I mean, there were people exercising demons in His name who He still said, "Depart from me, you worker of iniquity." So how much better are we to fare in today's time? Quite literally, well, I go to church, I listen to the guy, he makes me feel a little bad sometimes, and then I keep on doing what I want to do. Folks, you said the magic words and you counted that as righteousness. But the Lord is going to tell you, depart from me. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. Get on out of here. Now, I don't know who you are. Not to paraphrase the good Lord, but folks, it's coming. And I might be in that category myself. But I'm not going to sit by idly and find out. I want the truth. I want the truth. And I know you guys who are tuning in want the truth. And so we're going to move on. I just keep getting on these soapboxes, but I got some Tucker videos for you now because like I talked about on Thursday's episode of Midday Madness with Manly Mark, Are SSRIs causing a lot of problems in America? You know, it's funny because I'll talk about these things and then it's like the day after, I'll see all this material about the exact same thing I was trying to talk about. But let's get into Tucker. And this goes back into the vaccine thing. We just roll up our arms and say, okay. If you look into the research about SSRIs and how they work, it's all muddy. They assume they're working, but are they actually? I'm not so sure. So listen to, I've got 3 Tucker videos. And so listen to Tucker just get into the SSRI question. He talked about it a year or 2 ago, got a lot of flack from it. But now with this recent shooting in Minnesota with this tranny, there's more. He's coming out and talking about it more. So listen to this video right here.
Every time you raise the question like, hey, it seems like a lot of the school shooters, they seem to be on these drugs. There weren't school shootings. I mean, the biggest school shooting of like American history took place at the University of Texas. Chuck Whitman, who turns out he had a brain tumor. So there was like a reason that happened. Then there was a lull, and then Columbine happens, and then there's like probably many reasons for this, but the increase in school shootings almost precisely coincides with this massive increase in the prescription of these drugs. Is anyone studying this?
It's actually really hard to study. I don't think drugs are involved in all the school shootings. I do think there is a social contagion element to it,
Sure.
But I do think if you look at the side effects of all of these medications, it's already in the label. You know, if you look at stimulants, right there, it says it can cause aggression. If you look at antipsychotics, it says it can cause aggression. If you look at the antidepressants, it also says it can cause mania and aggression.
That's kind of the opposite of the intended effect.
What these things are paradoxical side effects.
Interesting. So while this man says not all school shootings are a result of SSRIs or not all these shooters are on them, there is something to be said about the number of them who are, and the fact that the companies, the pharmaceutical companies themselves, warn you that they can cause suicidal ideation, homicidal thoughts or actions, sudden death. How many? Only in America do you watch Fox News and every single commercial is a pharmaceutical company shoving a drug to their probably 40 and up viewer base, and all these drugs. Hey, this is so great. We'll fix your illness. We'll cure you. Hey, this drug can make you. And then at the end of the commercial, the very fast forward. Hey, this drug's going to kill you, and you might die, or you might leak your brain out your butt, or you might kill your wife, or you might kill somebody, or you might kill yourself. So take this drug because it's good, but you might have all these bad things that happen in a very few number of people, even though we only tested 5 people. So do it. Take this drug, even though you might die, or you might kill yourself, or you might kill somebody, or you take this drug. Pharmaceutical companies aren't allowed to advertise in other countries like they are in America. Come on. Moving right along to the second SSRI video.
These mass shootings and the calls for gun control and to take my shotguns away and all this stuff got me involved in like what is causing all these shootings, because there are a lot of shootings, right? And in every case you look at, the person's like just full of psychiatric meds. And so I brought this up a couple of times in public, and whoa, you get attacked for even raising the question, like, is there a connection between SSRIs and mass shootings?
You would think that people would want to have that question asked and answered. If they had true faith in their products, they would be like, oh, let's look at it. Let's be transparent about this. Let's have open access to the data. Let's do whatever we need to do to show you all that our products don't cause violence. But of course, it's the opposite. A friend of mine who's a professor at one point tried to FOIA the medical records of various mass shooters and couldn't get access.
So again, the question is, why aren't these drug manufacturer companies that concerned with these type of things? Because they want that money. You know, I saw a video of I guess his name's I'm assuming, prosperity gospel Pentecostal. I don't want to say Pentecostal, a charismatic in nature preacher named Cephalo, keyword, Dollar. Cephalo Dollar. You know, I saw a video of him in end of his sermon up on the on the stage, going down the steps, and just literally shuffling along, saying, "Money, money, 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 money," while the congregation tossed their money onto the stairs of, up to the stage, and he was, "Money, money, 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 money," and it's like, okay, not only is the prosperity gospel just, first and foremost, used to line the pockets of these people like Joel Osteen, Cephalo Dollar, Kent, what's his name? I don't know, demon on a plane guy, tube full of demons guy. The whole prosperity gospel. When did Jesus tell you, "Hey, I'm going to double your blessings if you put a blessing here. Hey, you're going to be rich. Hey, I want you to be rich and wealthy. The Lord wants you to be rich and wealthy." Guys, the folks who literally started the first churches are persecuted and poor and ostracized. I mean, think about the rich man and Lazarus, or the rich man who wanted to follow Jesus, but the cost was too great. Hey, give away all of your earthly possessions to follow me. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, but now the gospel's turned into, you plant this seed, it'll return to you fivefold. Come on now. The Bible says, I will bless a cheerful giver. Yes, sir. The true Christians always got their heads cut off, or they're skinned, or speared, or killed, man. The true Christians weren't the ones living in mansions who were wealthy. Now, is that to say that there can't be a Christian who's wealthy? No, of course not. Of course, I'm not saying that, but this whole idea that I'm going to buy into God and He's going to buy into me, is your faith really in Christ or God, or is your faith in what He's going to give back to you? It doesn't matter what God's going to give back to you. It doesn't matter if God gives you anything. He gave you the breath of life. He drew you unto Him. So the whole inclination that you got to speak it, you got to say it, you got to claim these blessings. Take them. If the Lord wants to bless me, He's not waiting for me to turn and look and say, "Oh, yes, this big old pile of money is for me. Thank you, Lord. Thank you." That's the false gospel, y'all. The gospel doesn't have anything to do with material gain or material wealth. Now, does the Lord bless some folks with material wealth? Yes. Does He bless some folks with not as much material wealth? Yes. But to say, I have had people in my own personal life tell me, we are financially blessed because we are good Christians. But your father's a 32nd Freemason. By his own admission. So you're telling me the good Lord blesses you because you're a good Christian. But then your father tells me he's a 32nd Freemason. Oh, so in reality, your father sold his soul for earthly pleasures to worship the devil with the Freemasons. Unless he just wasn't 32nd. It's got to be high enough to know you're worshiping the devil, I guess, or high enough to get shady business loans or deals. I don't know. I'm not part of that. But whether or not they're just purely satanic, the Freemasons, you sell your soul when you do these blood oaths, do these rituals to gain membership to the Freemasons. You sell your soul, maybe not to the devil himself, unless you're like a super, super duper high level Freemason, but the whole idea that there's an undercurrent in society where I'm a Freemason, so if I go to court, the judge is going to side with me. If I go to the bank, the guy's going to give me the loan because I am a Freemason. Quite literally equates to selling your soul for earthly pleasures. Okay, you might not realize you're worshiping the devil, or that the organization as a whole is inherently satanic. You're still a part of it. You're still benefiting from it. So does it really matter what you do on Sunday morning when you go to the church house and put a few hundred in the plate? Knowing you're getting loans that other people can't get? Knowing you're getting court edicts that other people can't get simply because you're a part of an organization, you're selling your soul. That's a very secular view of it. Now, do I think the Freemason organization or fraternity is Luciferian and satanic in nature? Yes. I mean, literally, look up any of their initiation rituals, and it equates to blood oaths. Blood oaths. Satanic in nature. Now, if your uncle or your daddy happens to be a good old boy who goes down to the Mason's Lodge to drink with his buddies every Thursday night, he don't have no idea. He's just looking for an excuse to get out of the dang house. But as you go further and further, it gets worse and worse. Now, I don't know why I started talking about the Freemasons, but the point is that they're attacking us with COVID vaccines. They're attacking us with antipsychotic drugs. Here's the last video about Tucker going on about antipsychotic, antidepressants, SSRIs.
Like if you were to hug a child, your child or your wife, you just don't feel anything warm. If you were to hear a favorite song from your childhood that, used to make like the back of your neck kind of prickle from nostalgia, all of that gets like nuked and taken out. And so you have people who are essentially lobotomized with cognitive impairment who also have severe sexual dysfunction.
So you're basically destroying someone's soul. I mean, the things that make you distinctly human.
Yeah.
Your love, your emotional response, your sexual response, which is very deep. It's not just I'm horny today. It's like it's your life force. It's your procreative force. It's what keeps the species alive. That's gone.
It's wiped out, and people become highly suicidal because when you don't feel anything, you don't feel any connection to life, it's like there's nothing to live for anymore. And so the suicide rate in this population is through the roof. And I want to say something.
Just a second.
Yeah.
And this is all confirmed?
Yeah, so that's what I want to say. Some people hearing this would be like, this is so crazy. There's no way this could be true.
Yes, that.
Folks, just look up the long-term studies on SSRIs. I didn't recently, but I have seen in the last 10 years pull into memory from my memory because, like I've got all these thoughts inside my head. I don't think about them until I need to think about them. But I had read several years ago that, like antidepressant medication was initially developed for short-term use. They hadn't had any long-term studies on these things. Okay, so people who have inevitably been on these drugs for 30 or 40 years, some of them report a sense of what's the word I'm looking for? A sense of disconnection. Okay, a sense of disconnection. Now, is that to say if you get on these drugs for 6 months and then get off of them, you'll be fine? I don't know. I mean, like these drugs are literally chemically lobotomizing people. I've had people tell me that I knew. I had a widow. She was like a 40 or 50-year-old widow that I knew several years ago when I was living in Central Arkansas, and I'd go over and have coffee. I love coffee and I love chit-chatting. I was raised by my mother and grandma, so I feel most comfortable chit-chatting with a, for all intents and purposes, a middle-aged woman. There's no cougar vibes involved. Just I feel more comfortable sitting at a table with a bunch of middle-aged women chit-chatting than I do a bunch of men. That don't mean I'm homo. Just how I am. I was raised that way. But she, so we would enjoy, I'd 2 or 3 times a week, I'd come over in the evenings and we'd have coffee and just chit-chat. I mean, hey, I'm making Javalia tonight. Javalia coffee, not Falters. I'm coming over, girl. Come on now. Come on. So I'd go around coffee, but she would talk about sometimes how, well, I'm getting on this antidepressant because whatever. Well, I forgot to take it, so now I just start taking it again. I'm feeling better. But we treat these kind of drugs like they're candy. What are the what am I looking for? What am I looking for? What are the Ooh, I can't talk. Call me Phee Smee. Oh, why can't I? What are the things that have to happen to essentially tell a medical practitioner that you have depression? Do they do a brain scan? Do they do a spinal tap to measure the amount of dopamine in your brain? No. You go in there and say, I have all these racing thoughts and I'm anxious. And then they say, ding, 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 more commission. Here you go. Here's a low-level antidepressant, Lexapro. Just try it for a few weeks and see how you feel. Well, they're getting money. They didn't do any tests. They didn't do any measurements. They simply went off of saying, I don't feel like I have any meaning in life and I'm anxious. I've had friends who got Adderall, went to a doctor and said, hey, I took one of my buddies' Adderall and I did better on a test and I got to keep doing good on tests. So can I have some more Adderall? Doctor said, yep, here you go. Woo-hoo-hoo. Meth light for you. Ha ha. Because they're making money. They're making money. And it's all part of the larger grand scheme of they hate us. It's anti-human. Anti-human. And speaking of anti-human, let's just transition. Let's transition to this about Epstein. I'm just going to let it speak for itself, but breaking. New leaked emails of former Israeli Prime Minister, idiot name Barak, idiot name, revealed that Jeffrey Epstein was coordinating with Mossad. Oh, you're telling me that Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, so this guy with a Jewish last name was in cahoots with this other guy with a Jewish last name. Who would have thought that Jeffrey Epstein was connected to Mossad? Oh, but Israeli intelligence is the best in the world. Maybe that's in part because they had a worldwide blackmail operation that would target celebrities, politicians, world elite to diddle little children that then the Mossad had on tape to say, if you don't give Israel $17 billion every month, we're going to release this video of you. George Bush, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, whoever. I mean, it's like, come on. And the Mossad is the most dominant intelligence agency in the world. They're everywhere. They've been everywhere since, even before Israel was a state and the Mossad was even initiated. I mean, look at this. Right, what I'm about to show you. Oh, Louisiana Senator Huey Long was poised to win the 1936 presidential election against Franklin Roosevelt. This would have prevented America from entering World War II and allying with the Judeo-Bolsheviks. But a Jew named Carl Weiss assassinated Huey Long before the election. Let's think about this. This would have prevented America from entering into World War II and allying with Judeo-Bolsheviks. So you're telling me, let's keep in mind, George Patton, the supreme commander of the Allied forces, said very shortly after World War II, hey, we picked the wrong side. We should have joined the fascists instead of the communists. Then he died in a suspicious car wreck 6 months later. Huh? So you had a Jewish man assassinate the man who was probably going to win the election, who was anti-World War II, anti-Zionist. So you're telling me this Jew gave his life to assassinate an American presidential candidate so that the presidential candidate who would join World War II would win. Huh. Well, what happened in the aftermath of World War II? Oh, the Baldur. Now I've just lost my mind. The Baldur Confession, the Baldur Decree they essentially gave the state of Palestine, the land in Palestine, and said, we're going to make it a Jewish state. Oh, well, that wouldn't have happened if this Jew wouldn't have killed Huey Long. Whoa! Ho, ho. Really makes you wonder how long these plans by men like the Rothschilds, men like, just like the... how many of these families and bad people do we hear that were involved in the creation of the state of Israel? Too many. Too many to make me think it was by God. Too many. Now, does God use wicked people to advance the kingdom? Yeah. Yeah, he does. But if the Jews are still living in a state of apostasy and still rejecting God, who is Jesus, how is it then that they had the right to claim the land of Israel? All throughout the Old Testament, they were expelled from the land for idolatry. They're still in a state of idolatry. Now, will there be a remnant that will be saved from them? Yes, and we should pray. We should support that remnant. But the devils we're supporting in the meantime are leading us straight to hell. Oh, breaking. Newly leaked emails of former Israeli Prime Minister reveal that Jeffrey Epstein was coordinating with the Mossad. That's what you support? I support Israel! I support Israel to the end! Because the Bible says Israel. Oh! So you support the work of Jeffrey Epstein with the intelligence community in Israel? So that's what you support when you say God says you should bless Israel or he'll bless you, and if you curse Israel, he'll curse you. So those who curse Jeffrey Epstein and those who curse Jeffrey Epstein's connections to the Mossad are cursing Israel. Oh no. So if you don't like child sex trafficking, God's going to curse you. Oh, you see how foolish that actually is when you put it in perspective? Again, when did Jesus concern himself with protecting Israel? Protecting Jesus' chosen people. The chosen people were chosen to bring about one man. Jesus, that's the point. You might miss it because you're an evangelical American who's wrapped up in Zionist propaganda, thinking you have to sell your soul to the harlot or God's going to be mad to fight against the beast system. Folks, they're both evil. The harlot system in Jerusalem is just as detestable as the beast system. But we believe we have to choose one or the other. Choose one evil or choose the other. This evil or that evil. Folks, evil is evil. It's not gray. It's black and white. It's black and white. It's black and white. It's not gray. So folks, let me just give you... I got 2 more videos. Well, I'll show the video of the Mossad, because if you guys remember in the news, the Mossad coordinated an attack on Hamas with all these pagers that exploded. Well, just listen to this Mossad agent talking to the 60-minute lady and listen to how he describes our reality. Just listen.
How did you convince Hezbollah to buy this?
Well, obviously, they didn't know that they were buying it from Israel.
Who did they buy it from, or think they were buying it from?
We have an incredible array of possibilities of creating foreign companies that have no way being traced back to Israel, shell companies over shell companies who affect the supply chain to our favor. We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors.
They write the screenplay. They're the directors and producers. So what you're telling me is the worldwide global cabal operates out of Israel and Jerusalem. But I'm led to believe that's not the case. Through Shell Company and this and this and that. Folks, everything you know that you believe that's been mainstream is most likely a lie. That's the point. You can support evil, or you can support the evil that's going to rise up and replace this other evil. Or, bear with me, you can choose not the narrow gates, option A or option B, but you can choose to follow the commandments of Christ. Love your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. The rest of the laws rest upon those two things, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So let's just parse this out. Is supporting a genocidal, apostate regime in a land that they're calling Israel, does that equate to loving your God with all your heart, soul, and mind? Well, yeah, it does, because they're His chosen people. They were his chosen people to bring about Jesus. So, if they're His chosen people after the times of Jesus until now, well, how come 99% of them have been going to hell and are going to hell because they reject Christ? Oh, well, they're still going to hell, but they were God's chosen people. Oh, so being God's chosen people in today's time doesn't actually have any benefit unless you're one of the remnant that will turn to Christ. If you don't turn to Christ, Christ is the only way to heaven. No one gains access to the Father but through Christ. So you're telling me that as long as the Jews have been alive and they have existed as God's chosen people, for more than half of that, or maybe just a little less than half, I didn't even look at these dates or these numbers. For more than half or less than half, one way or the other, they're all going to hell because they reject Christ. But they're God's chosen people, and if you curse them, you are bad. So if I reject these people who reject my God, if I cast aside these people who reject my God, I'm going to be cursed by my God? That seems kind of counterintuitive. Maybe your concept of God's chosen people has been skewed and manipulated for a reason that we're seeing today. And folks, that's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. I said I was going to talk for 30 minutes and I talked an hour. But guys, thank you for tuning in to the Phee Smee Show. No Phee Smee, just mainly Mark, but Phee will probably be back tonight with Night with Phee. So guys, tune in tonight at 9 for Night with Phee. And you'll probably catch me again tomorrow here on the Phee Smee Show with Manly Mark. So guys, I hope you have a blessed and a great Labor Day. And I hope you guys tune in tomorrow. So God bless you and thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.